A Freilichen Chanukah, everyone. Thank you so much for listening. I want to start by asking a question to get us thinking a little bit. The question is, if I lived in the times of the Chanukah story, whose side would I be on? Obviously, our gut reaction should be the Maccabim, of course. We all know that Antiochus and the Greeks were disgusting, corrupt, and immoral, and they were the bad guys in the story, while the Maccabim saved the days. However, if we take a minute to introspect and consider some of our actions and influences, we might realize that we are impacted by Western society, similar to how the Jewish Hellenists were influenced by the Greek culture. Interestingly, the Gemara teaches that the only language that the Torah is allowed to be translated to is Greek, because Greeks had some intellect and wisdom. Their downfall was that they didn't use that intellect to live moral and ethical lives. Sadly, many Jews recognized that the Greeks were more intellectual than the barbaric pagans around them, and they were sucked in by Hellenism and wanted to be like the Greeks. My mother works at Hillel Torah, so I used to sub there occasionally. One time, I got to sub for Rabbi Liebtag's 8th grade boys class right around Hanukkah time. As you can imagine, 8th grade boys can be quite a lively bunch, especially for a sub. Anyways, the lesson plan for that day was to give them the Hellenism quiz. The first part of the quiz had many questions on celebrities, athletes, rock stars, movie stars, secular holidays, and so on. The second part of the quiz had basic questions about our Avos Imahos, other characters from Jewish history, and Yom Tovim, etc. Each student had to answer the quiz separately to the best of their abilities, but we reviewed the answers together. Even though I was just the proctor giving the quiz, I walked away with the biggest lesson. Do I know more about Western celebrities or about our heritage? Who are our role models? Who do we look to for inspiration and guidance on how to live our lives? Do we try to imitate the Greeks or Western society? Or do we look at our ancestors, Tanakh, Jewish history, and Rabbeim to choose and strengthen our values, customs, and culture? Do we talk about celebrity gossip, or do we tell over Gedolim stories? Whose posters are we hanging in our rooms? These are all the thoughts I had after leaving the Hellenism quiz. David HaMelech in Tehillim, Perek Chaf Daled, Pasuk Gimel says, he asks, Mi ya'aleh b'har Hashem, u'mi yakum b'mkom kadsho? Who will go up the mountain of Hashem, and who will become established there? The Maccabim ask a similar question. They ask, Mi laHashem Eli? We have to ask ourselves the same question. Which side am I on? Do my actions reflect that gut feeling of the Maccabim, of course? I hope that as we light the Hanukkah candles this Yantif and we take time, the Hodos Ulahalal, to thank and praise Hashem for our lineage, our Mesorah, our story, and our values, Emirtz Hashem, when we ask ourselves, which side am I on, we are able to answer surely and proudly, I'm with the Maccabim. I'm on Hashem's team. Happy Hanukkah, everyone.